Governments need to be held accountable, just like you are in your own home finances. You need to be accountable when you make a commitment. And that is why our government is proposing a robust new legislative framework. It's called the Fiscal, Sustainability, Transparency, and Accountability Act. And this represents the first comprehensive change to Ontario's fiscal planning in a decade and a half. And as part of those changes, our government is introducing a one-of-a-kind, first-of-a-kind in Canada, accountability guarantee. And that's for both the Premier and the Minister of Finance. And it would require both of us to pay a 10% fine of the ministerial and Premier's salary for each missed reporting deadline. We are quite literally putting our money where our mouth is. And I'll tell you, this is not something to be taken lightly, this guarantee. It's not just a piece of paper that hangs on the wall, although it does now in my office. Had this guarantee been applied to the previous government, the Minister of Finance would have had to write a check to the Crown for $40,000, and the Premier would have been penalized $75,000. That's how many deadlines that previous government chose to ignore and kept those numbers. In fact, both the Auditor General and the Financial Accountability Office told the legislature the fact that you don't have those numbers in front of you, those reporting deadlines that were ignored, meant that we didn't have the proper information to make decisions, financial decisions on a go-forward basis. But as I said, we now know why, when we learned, of course, that the government was spending $40 million a day. Imagine that, $40 million a day more than they were taking in. Now, as a result of that, we are looking at every single program, every agency, every board, every commission to drive efficiencies, find cost savings, and enable the modernization of government services. So when people say, oh, but Vic, you know, the $1.3 billion you're adding to health, that doesn't quite match the level of inflation. That's because if you do things the old way, you can expect the same results. So we're going to talk to you about some of the things that we're modernizing and what we mean by that, and what we mean by this transformation that we're bringing into government. So these changes that we've already started have really had a profound effect on our budgets. We've seen substantial cost savings and substantial cost avoidance. When the election was being run, the Premier said, I want you to find 4 cents on every dollar. And we were very pleased to report to the Premier in this budget that we have nearly doubled that and have delivered almost 8 cents on every dollar spent.